Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us, coming to you from Washington's premier indoor shooting facility. Of course, that is Security Gun Club. We're right here in Woodinville, Washington. Hey, it's that time of the year. What time is that? Yeah, Hunter Biden's in trial right now. That's what time of the year it is. That's right. The first son, your favorite first son of America, is currently undergoing a jury trial in the state of Delaware, charged with a violation of 18 United States Code Section 922G3, or being the unlawful user of a controlled substance while in possession or purchasing a firearm. Now, today we're going to do something, I love it when I get to do this, which is I'm going to give you all the stuff to think about. We're not going to tell you how to think, but we are going to give you all the stuff to think about. And then we want to hear from you. I'm really, really interested to hear what you, the viewers, have to think about this. So today, let's spend a few minutes, let's slow it all down, and let's talk about what's your verdict for Hunter Biden. Okay, before we get going too far down the road we're going down, proud to announce that this video is being brought to you by Right to Bear. That's right, legal protection for self-protection. Listen, good lawyers aren't cheap, cheap lawyers aren't good. You're not truly prepared unless you have Right to Bear back you. You will always get an attorney-answered hotline, so you will always have a confidential phone call. There are no cap limits for either civil or criminal defense. This covers all forms of self-defense. So from a fist to a firearm, from a fat lip to a dead body, you are covered, and you will have some of the nation's most passionate 2A attorneys in your corner fighting for you. And right now, if you visit my friends at protectwithbear.com and you use the promo code WGL, you will receive 10% off. Listen, you need to protect yourself so that you can protect them. Visit my good friends at protectwithbear.com. Okay, here's what we're talking about. Never thought in a million years I'd get to do this, but we are talking about the first son of America. That's right, Hunter Biden, who is currently now being prosecuted and tried in a United States District Court in Delaware for a violation of 18 United States Code Section 922G3. We do believe that the evidence will overwhelmingly show that Mr. Biden, who was a quite frequent user and likely addicted to crack cocaine, filled out a Form 4473 when he purchased the revolver and lied on the form saying he was not a user nor an addict of controlled substances. Now, this may have gone unnoticed, but for the fact that Mr. Biden himself outed himself in his own memoir, but that's a side story. Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. Number one, in arguendo, we're going to assume that the government can prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. That the government can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hunter Biden filled out a Form 4473, he lied on it, he obtained a firearm while he was an illegal user of controlled substances. Okay, now, this particular issue has seen, I think, a lot of the bad parts of the Second Amendment community come out. I mean, we're oftentimes pretty united in a cause, but now I've seen kind of opinions all over the board, and that's why I'm asking all of you, what do you think? Because there's two schools of thoughts here, okay? The first school of thought, the one that I think is based a little bit more in vindictiveness, not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with it, is like, hey, listen, he is the son of the most anti-Second Amendment president we've ever had, which is true, by the way. And he is a complete and utter derelict, which is also true. And there have been many, many thousands and thousands of Americans who have been convicted of this. We have talked about a few of them ourselves. In fact, one of them is sitting on the front steps of the United States Supreme Court right now in the matter of United States v. Daniels, who was merely a medicinal cannabis user. Okay. So there's a lot of people, and you know, I'm a huge proponent of equal application of the law. The law only makes sense, the law only has credibility if it is applied equally across all spectrums of the population based upon what are the alleged and proven facts. Okay, now, if you fall into that camp, you're definitely like, convict them and throw his ass in prison. And I understand where many of you are coming from, but I ask you this. If you are in that camp, do you believe that 18 United States Code Section 922G3 is a constitutional piece of legislation? Because if you're like, well, no, I don't think there's any historical analog to that. I really don't think that the government has the authority to do that. And yet you're rooting for Mr. Biden to be convicted. Setting aside his family's political views, setting aside the criminal enterprise that is the Biden crime syndicate, okay? You are rooting for an American citizen to be convicted under an unconstitutional law. And that would be a weird time to be rooting for anyone to be convicted for an unconstitutional law in light of what recently has occurred as well in New York. Now, perhaps you fall into the other camp. And the other camp is I'm not a fan of the Bidens whatsoever. However, I believe that 18 U.S.C. section 922 G3 is unconstitutional, that there is absolutely no historical precedent to support this law, that the only thing that comes remotely close is the prohibitions on people not being able to possess firearms while they're under the influence of alcohol. But I will point out that those prohibitions only deal with individuals who are actually at that moment under the influence of alcohol. Yes, there may be a historical tradition that says that we can disarm individuals that we deem to be dangerous, but where is a historical tradition that people who abuse substances are per se automatically dangerous? There truthfully is no historical analog to support the existence of 18 United States Code section 922 G3. And it is a high probability that if the Supreme Court were to accept review in the matter of United States v. Daniels, this particular Supreme Court would strike that law down. Which means there's also a probability that Hunter Biden could be convicted on a law that will ultimately be overturned. So it would appear that if your true, altruistic intentions is to really expand and preserve the inalienable rights that our founding fathers intended for us, you would have a tendency to lean on the side that Mr. Biden should be acquitted because this law is otherwise unconstitutional. So, America, this is what I want to know. We want to hear from you. What camp do you fall in? Do you think, hey, listen, I'm all for equal application of law, and there are a lot of people who've done a lot of time behind bars for this exact same crime. I'm sick and tired of the two-tiered justice system. I want to see a one-tiered justice system. I want to see this guy convicted. I want to see his ass thrown in jail. That may be one camp. The other camp, you may be, hey, listen, as much as I really dislike the Biden family, I believe this law is unconstitutional. There is absolutely no historical analog to support it, and I would hate to see any American convicted under an unconstitutional law. Let us know what you think. Put your answers down there in the description box. We'll probably do a follow-up video and let you know. The case, once again, in case you guys don't know, is United States v. Biden. We're not going to link it up because you'll be able to follow it on every mainstream media outlet. By the way, if you got ideas for videos that we should be doing here at Washington Gun Law, go ahead and click on that link right there. Some of the best ideas we ever had weren't really our ideas. Probably also keep me from having to do any more videos about Hunter Biden. In the meantime, if you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law. If you don't, that information, it's down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.